Hey everybody, Titus here, and today we're gonna learn how to use chat-driven development. That means that all you need is ChatGPT or some large language model, and you can build any app you want, and you can launch it to the world. So we're gonna do one today live. I'm gonna teach you how to do it, and you don't have to be a developer or anything. In fact, there's a famous quote that says the new programming language of the future is your voice, and so that's awesome, and that means it opens up for everybody. So first, go to ChatGPT. If you don't have ChatGPT, log in, sign up. You can use the free version if you want, but you'll need the paid version to do everything in this demo, this tutorial. So I'm going to create an app, and I want to create like a motivational app that kind of brings in motivational videos and motivational content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this down. So I would like to make a motivational app that uses AI to help me track my progress and achieve my goals. I want to also bring in content from the web I'm going to use Serper, which is a really good API, and don't worry, this is a good API you'll be able to use for a lot of your apps, but Serper Dev API, so that I can offer videos, articles, etc. To help me achieve my goals. I want to make this a Python app and eventually one that people can log in and register. So that people can log in and register. So we're going to do that, but I'm not going to do that in this particular video. For this time, I want to make this app in 1 to 2 hours, so I won't have login and register at this time. Okay, so there we go. It's coming in. So here we have, it's going to tell you exactly what to do. Now I'm going to use something called Replit, but if you want, you can download a file, an application called Visual Studio. It's free, and you can just follow along with what I'm doing. And you could say I'm using Visual Studio when you're making your app. So, but I'm going to use Replit because this will allow me to. It's called REPLIT. It's going to allow me to launch on the web real fast and easy. So I'm going to hit create. I'm making a Python app here. We're going to call it a motivational app, motivation app, whatever. And you're going to see something similar to this when you're in Visual Studio, but you'll be able to run console and all this stuff, which I will be doing. It'll be this area on the right, this console will be on the bottom. And I can show you more of that in maybe a supplementary video, or you could reach out to me. So here we go. Right now it's telling me, well, I want to pip install requests. So I will run that right now over here on console, shell, and I'll run pip install request, and it will install everything. Now these are things that need to run with our code. So pip is a Python kind of package manager, and it's able to help us download code. Now I want to do OpenAI, so I'm going to do that one next. So pip install OpenAI, and I just hit enter. Paste it in the copy, paste, enter. That's simple. Next, we have a basic structure. So there's a Python file we want to create called motivational API. So I'll go in here and I'll make a new file called motivational app.py right here. Then I'll copy this code and I will paste it in here. Whoops. Sorry. Okay, so here we have these. And then we'll want to paste in our Serper API key and our OpenAI API key, which I will show you how to get those. And then let's look at the code here real quick. And then there's a next section, which is our goal tracking. So I'm going to copy that goal tracking. And let me just get those keys real fast. So we'll go to our Serper, and here's serper.dev. I'm going to sign in, but you can sign up and you get 2,500 free credits, so that's cool. And you can use it for a lot of cool things. So here's my API key. I will copy my API key. I will reset it after this video. Then I'm going to go to the ChatGPT, and there's a dashboard area. And so once you go to ChatGPT, there's a dashboard area, and then you go to API keys. I'm going to create a new secret key. I'm going to call it motivational app test. And then I'm going to copy that key. Paste it in here. All right, so we got our keys in there. And we can go line by line because it's going to teach us about line by line here. Or usually what you can do is you can say, please provide me with the full code. So I'm not going to go line by line. I'm just going to take this full code. You don't have to understand as much. If you have questions, you can always paste the section and ask what it's doing. But I want to show you quickly how to ramp up and create an app, using chat-driven development. So here we go. Now I'll copy this code. And I already put the keys in there, so let's take this part out. And we'll take this part out. Okay, so we've got everything here, and we're ready to go. And we could run this app. So to run this app, because we call it motivational_app.py, I can do Python motivation. Now if you hit tab, you can get the whole thing filled in automatically. But I'll do Python that. I'll run it. It says, what's your goal? To lose 5 pounds, right? Now, of course, we're going to get some errors, and I don't want to do this through the terminal. So what I have to do is I have to tell ChatGPT, I don't want to do. I want to be able to access this in a web view or HTML page. Also, I got this error. So I'm going to tell it I got an error, and so I'm going to copy that error. So copy errors. If you get errors, just copy them, paste them in, hit enter, and ChatGPT will do its magic. And this is only going to get better. So this flow is going to get easier and easier as people are improving what they do. So we'll fix the API error. We'll add a view. See, there's a new pip install. So we'll look for those. Look for a pip install, and we'll put it down here and install it. Don't worry, if you forget to do this, you'll see some errors, you'll paste them, and then ChatGPT will tell you you forgot to do the pip install. So I have our app here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to copy this updated Python, and I'm going to put it in here. So overwrite this old app. Let's remove, I got these keys here, so I'll put these in. And then paste it here. Okay, so we got our codes pasted in here. Now there's probably going to be an error for Replit, which I will fix in a second because when I run it. But here we go. Let's see if there's anything else we have to do. So what it says is they made this function. Now, one thing I want to let you know is the OpenAI stuff does not work that well right now for some reason. So what you have to do, and I'm going to show you the next step, is if you get stuck, you can always go to OpenAI and find what you need. So I'm going to go to OpenAI chat completion, and I'm going to show you what the problem is here. So this is where like GPT is still going to get a little bit better. So you're going to have to tweak this a little bit, but it's not too hard. So you can see here that there's this client chat completions create, right? Well, if you look at the code that we're being told to do, it's the older version. This is an older version of the completion. So I'm going to show you how to bypass this. Once you understand this part, you'll be able to fix this. So it's not a big deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. And one more thing that I forgot to do was there's an HTML page, I believe. So here's we want to put it in templates, index.html. So I copy this. I'm going to make a new folder called templates, and I'm going to make a new file called index.html, and then I'll just paste it in here. So it's ready to go. And make sure there's nothing else I need to do. Okay, good. So now what we want to do is I'm going to fix that little bit of code bug with the correct completions. Just that. See how that looks? You can also just type it in if you want. So you can see the old method is there, so we want the new method right here. And I don't want to use GPT 4.0, I'll use 4.0 and then mini. Just a small one for now. Or just 4.0, let's do that instead. So it says, this is passing to ChatGPT. There's a role, it's a system. You are a motivational coach, and you could make that a better, if you wanted a better prompt. And then the user is like, give me motivational advice to achieve the goal and then the goal. We don't need the max tokens because that's not something we want to do. Now, there's one more thing. This response sometimes is not correct, so I'm going to double check it. What you can see down here, if you scroll down, you can see the response is choices, message, content. See that? Choices, message, content. Well, sometimes it has the old one. See, choices, message, content is not correct. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to paste it in there, and that's all you do. That's it. That is it, and you're done. Okay, with that particular part. So I'm going to run this app now and see what happens. Oops, sorry, I already did that. Python. This is motivational. We do the tab. We get it running. Goes. Now, here's the problem with running on Replit. This should work fine for you if you're not running on Replit, but if I click this, nothing will happen. And so what I have to do is you can hit Control C to get out when the app is running. But what I have to do is I'm going to tell ChatGPT, this is running on a Replit. So this is the part that's our problem. And I can say, this is running on a Replit, so please update just this part. So it's going to give me that, and then I can get that part. So it's like, oh yeah, you got to do this. So that's the part I have to update for running it on a Replit. You don't have to change that if you're not running on a Replit, by the way. And ChatGPT will help you with that. Okay, so let's run it again. You could do this. I mean, it might seem hard at first, but you can definitely do this. And you just work through, ChatGPT is your friend, your partner. Like I told you, there's a couple little things like that, chat completion, that may take a little discovery, but you could definitely do it. So what's my goal? Lose 10 pounds. Let's say that. So I say get motivation, but nothing's really happening, right? Nothing happened. So what you want to do is you go to a new tab, and in here you can say view developer tools. Okay, it's going to show you all the back end, like what's happening. So if I put in here lose 10 pounds, and I hit get motivation, it says it's not working, like nothing's happening. Oh, it's something's happening actually. It's spinning. It's showing the thing spinning. So, but the problem is we don't have any transparency. Like I don't see what's going on, right? But it did work, which is cool. We can see here. I'll move this out of the way. So here's set specific goals and all this stuff, but the resources to achieve your goal, I don't really have any resources for that. So why didn't that work? Well, let's find out. So it's probably the Serper API is what I'm thinking. So what we want to do is we want to say, hey, it worked, but there wasn't much logging to tell me what's going on. And for some reason, I don't think Serper gave us the related content. I want video, podcasts, news, and text, yeah. Now, I'm going to help it out a little bit. So, because sometimes it might not know everything that it needs to know. So I'll come in here, I can go to Serper, and I don't even think, let's see if it put it in the code. We might even have Serper in here. I think we do. Yeah, we do. Let's go in there. Yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Serper, and you can go to the playground. So we want to get, there's certain things you can get. You can get search, images, videos, news. I guess there's no podcast in this one. So we're going to do videos, and let's just do videos and text, okay? So how to lose 5 pounds or something. So I will do it, I'll search in the United States, or if you're a different country, you can do different languages, all this things that you want. And then I'll hit search, and it'll come in with the results. So here's the code, and we're using Python, and we have requests it might ask us to update this, but I think we already have that in there. So let's see. remember we did the pip install requests, so that's cool. So let's go here to Serper, and I'm going to copy this because this is like what we need. This is what we need. So I'm copying this. I'm going to paste it in here. I'm going to say, I'm not going to say podcast though. I'm just going to do text. Okay, so I'm going to say, here is the request for text, right? Because what we can do is we know that when I did my search, it was for search, and here's the request. Here's the results. Like here's an example results, right? So I'll go down here. I will copy that. Here is the results from the call. And here is the API call for videos. So next I'll do videos. So I'm going to go to videos. I'm going to say how to lose 10 pounds. It's fine. I'm going to take my code. Here's my code. All it's really changing in here is I think the videos word there. So we'll find out. And here is the response. I'll copy the response there. Grab it. There we go. And put you in there. Make sure we use dry concepts so that we have clean and simple, scalable code. Now dry means do not repeat yourself, and that is very good. So you can always put dry in there, because what it might try and do is write two different calls for video and for text for the same thing, just a little bit different. So we want to make sure that it's not duplicating over and over again and making inefficient code. So here we have an example. It's saying, hey, I need to do two, and here we go. Sometimes it'll give you two options. It really didn't matter which one you pick because it's still going to work just fine. So just waiting for it. Looks like we got some styling in there. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to take the one on the right, just because the one on the left stored some of the logs in a log file over here. If you look, and it's okay to do that, but I don't want to store anything right now, so I'm going to take the one on the right. And it didn't matter which one you pick, by the way, you'll be fine. So I need a pip install logging because that's something that is not, I don't think that's been installed so far. So how do we stop this? Control C, and we do pip install, and then, oops, logging. Yep. And we'll go and get us all installed in there. It's really awesome. And then I'm going to copy this code. Now you see, over and over again, I have to keep being careful that I don't overwrite these, right? So there is a way to make sure we use this better, and I'm going to show you that in a second. But for now, I'm just going to copy this code, except for that part with the stuff we already have in there. So here we go. Take this out, copy and paste this all the way down here. So I copied and pasted it in. And then at the top, look up here. I may want to make sure that the top matches. So we've got this up there at the top. And anything else? Remember what happened now. I'm going to show you what the problem is here, though, in a second. So templates index, let's copy that one and overwrite the index in here. So we've overwritten that one, and I believe there shouldn't be anything else. Okay, good. We're going to find one issue, though. ChatGPT keeps telling us to use the old chat completion, right? So we don't want that. 4.0. And we don't need the max tokens right now. So we'll go back to our chat completions. Remember this part, we got to make sure. I'm going to show, this is a pain that we'll fix, don't worry. This is just happening right now. But we're going to fix it. We're going to make sure we don't have to put up with this in the future. All right, so I'm pasting in this response to make sure we get the right response. And I'm going to go up here and make sure and paste the chat completion. Get that correct. Let's see, let's find it here. This part here. Okay, got that done. And I think we're pretty close to running this one now. So let's run it again. So we do Python, and remember you can do the tab to list the name. Now this is the motivational app. I'll close this one down. And I'm going to open this in a new tab, and I'm going to say lose 5 pounds, right? So we can see it's working here, but we're going to want to make an update to let us know like something's going on. Now if we go back to the replit, we'll be able to see some things going on here. And let's move this over here now. Let's see if anything happened. Okay, cool. So it looks like it did work. And so we have some articles about how to lose weight. We've got some videos about how to lose weight, which is awesome. And we've got some formatting for our, like, here's how to lose weight, right? Here's a rewarding category. But it doesn't look that good, does it? So let's clean this up. And I'm also going to show you about how to take our keys so they don't have to keep overwriting them. So check this out. What I want you to do is take this file now that we have, our motivational one. We can copy and paste it in, and if we want to do something in here, we can copy it, and then what we'll do is I can say, I would like to make the design awesome, easy to use, and notify the user when things are happening, right? It's just because you want that to happen. I also want the videos to be embedded. That means I can play them. Right? Here is the code to adapt. So I'll paste in my code here. Now it knows the HTML code already, but if it does any changes to the Python, it's going to use this as our example. So here we go. So we got this going. Here's a new update for our index.html. So we'll go into index.html. This one will hopefully be a little bit better designed. That should be awesome. And then I'm sure there's going to be, oops, it's not done yet, so that's a mistake. Make sure it always gets finished before you copy and paste it. So I'm going to copy and paste it in here. So I'm going to, what you can do is you can do the up arrow, down arrow to get to the last code that you did. I'm going to run it. I'm going to refresh this page. Hey, look at that. Looks nice, doesn't it? So let's, I want to run a mile, right? So let's get some motivation. Look, it says processing your request, so it looks nice in there. So process the request. There's your motivation. Here's some articles to help you achieve your goal. And here's some videos to help you achieve your goal. So there we go. We have a cool little app here that lets us do this. Now, the one thing here is this is not looking very good. So what I want to do is I want to say where that's placed, and I'm going to show you here. You can find in HTML, it says your motivation. See your motivation? It says your motivation. So you can find the area and you can say, you know what, let's, I would like to render the text in the your motivation area to look nicer. It currently is in markdown format because that's what that is. When you see those little pound signs and stuff, it's called markdown. So let's make it look a little bit better. All right. So we're gonna. It says we should install the Markdown library. So I'm going to do. What do we do with that? We do pip install. Right. Make sure it's there. If you forget to install it, you're still going to see errors, and those errors are going to help you. You just copy and paste those errors in ChatGPT. So and then we need to update our Flask application here. I'm not sure what we need to update, but I think it might be the way it's rendering the Markdown. And then we need to update the HTML template. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this code. And then what you want to do is we're going to put it here. But remember, we have all this nice, these keys and stuff that didn't get replaced, that got replaced out by OpenAI. So I know it's a pain. You're going to learn about this as we go. But we want these keys, I want to put these keys back in to the system to make sure they work. So here they are. I think we'll just paste them in here. So everything is there. We've got all the keys. Everything's working. But what do we forget? I know it's a pain. And I'm going to show you. This is something that why it makes it hard. for people to code is this constant like, oh, you messed up my code again. You messed up my code again. But I'm going to show you, I found a way to make that go away. We've got that going. Now, also the markdown, we needed this response. We need to get the right response. So this is if you're using a ChatGPT. And you can always go to the APIs and find this information. I can help you if you have questions. So there's the response, and we just got to go here to this part right here, paste it in. We're ready to go. I think we're ready to go here. Let me consult ChatGPT. Oh, forgot to put this in. So we want to put this in here for copy this one section. Now you might be like, I don't know where to put that, Titus. We'll just say, please provide me with the full HTML. And then it will, because you might not, if you don't know HTML, you might know where to put it. So just ask for the full template and it will do that for you, gladly. So here it comes. And you can do so much. This is just the tip of the iceberg. It's really amazing. It's awesome. So I'm going to copy this updated one, and I'm going to paste it in here on the HTML area. You can literally almost build anything. So I'm going to run this now. Just hit the up arrow a couple times. I'm going to run it. Oh, see it says, oh, something's wrong. There's an error. So we'll find out what it is. Let's find markup. It says it's a problem. Markup. Okay. Let's see what happens. There's an error. So what I do is we copy, we paste here like this, and see what ChatGPT says. Okay. So do we need to pip install that one? I wonder. All right, so it's coming in, and then what you say is you say, do I need to pip install anything? Just to get an idea, and it'll tell us. There we go. So I guess I did, yeah, I did do that one. It's great. It'll walk you through it. Don't worry. So we've got marked safe, and then so really all I need to change in this one is the top part, which we'll do. So I'm going to go up here and just do this last bit up here. Just change this part up here at the top. And then we can run it again. Whoops. Okay, it's running now. Don't worry, step by step. Take your time. You can do it. So what's another goal we can do? How about learn a new language? So we'll hit the button to get the motivation for this. And by the way, this can be, you can make a Chrome app. You could almost even make an iPhone app or an Android app. Just sometimes publishing to the App Store can be more complicated. So look, our motivation is here. Set clear specific goals, cultivate positive. And then it's like, hey, here's some articles to help you achieve your goal, which is awesome. And then here's some videos to help you achieve. And if you hit play, you'll be able to play them. And you'll get to learn all about it.
Learning a language can...
So there you go. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to do a lot more of these videos. I have some really cool apps coming up that I'll make. So if you have ideas of apps you want to see done, just go to the bottom. I'm going to add one more thing before we end. And that's this one part where we talked about where every time you have to keep putting in the API keys, API keys. So I'm going to show you how to not have to worry about that. And I'm going to show you how to not worry about the OpenAI stuff. So here we go. 2 little tips at the end. What I want to do is I say, I want to load the API keys from the bio file, and also I want to move the generate motivation, the OpenAI call to a utils file. Oops, sorry. Okay, so what this is going to do is a lot of times once I have these functions working, I don't really have to mess with them much. And if I had to mess with them, then we'll get advice about how to do that. But right now, we don't want to mess with this. Every time we're doing updates to our code, we don't have to keep going in and updating this ChatGPT issue. So if you find an issue that continues to be repetitive, then what you can do is you can move that into a util and then just keep that aside. And then it's nice because then as you're changing the made code, you won't have to do all these updates all the time. So what I did this time is I moved the API keys. We're going to pull them from a .env file, so we don't have to worry about copying and pasting those in. It's more secure. And also I'm going to move into utils, the ChatGPT function, which keeps messing up. And that just happens sometimes. It's loading an older version. So here we go. It says let's make a .env file. So I'm going to do that right now. So you go here, you go .env, paste those in. We do have those keys, which I will paste now. So I'm going to take the Serper key here, and I'm going to take the OpenAI key. Boom. Okay, so that's a .env file, and that's going to be loaded. I also need to run a pip install for loading those keys, which I will do right now. So let's stop our app. Let's pip install. You can do this, okay? It might be fast, but you can slow it down, and I'll help you. Just message me on this video if you get stuck. Okay, so here's the utils file, right? So I'm going to import. Looks like I'm going to copy this. I'm going to make a new folder, a new file called utils.py. I'm going to paste it in here. Now, it's the last time I got to paste this, but we had to fix the chat again, unfortunately, which I'm going to do. So you'll notice it's like, because it's taking from an older trained version. As things are more real time and maybe OpenAI and other large language models, as they start to pull in real time, then that's going to help fix this problem. But right now, which is what we got, and you can still build any app you want. But now that I've moved this into a different area, I don't have to worry about having to change this every single time. So I'm moving into a utils folder. So we're doing 4.0, and this part right here. Just change that part. And that's it. And now what we have to do is we're going to go and it's going to give me a new motivational app.py file. And the cool part is now that motivational app.py file does not have a couple things in there, which I'm going to show you. So first of all, we're loading the .env, which we did, and that's going to load .env, and that's going to pull from our env file our APIs. Remember, we have an env file here, and this has our API keys. So this is going to pull those in. And also, you're going to notice that when we do this, let's find it. I'm importing from utils generate motivation. And then that way when I generate motivation, which we can find it, here, when we generate motivation, now it's calling this outside, it's the util. And that's calling this in here, in this area, which is great because now I don't have to keep changing this every time we want to update our code or do things. This util can just stay happy and not have to worry about being changed. So let's run it again. And even if you don't know any of this stuff or don't think about doing any of this stuff, you'll still, oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Up. Okay, so it's like, I didn't find OpenAI. Well, I could paste this in, but I'm going to tell you right now we just need to import OpenAI. So, but I'm going to show you the power of this, of GPT helping you out just in case you get stuck. So it's going to be like, oh, I don't do it. It's like, oh, you need to add this. We have to add it. So it was saying, hey, let's load the API key inside of the util. So I'm going to copy this and paste it in the utils, but I'm going to save myself some time here. I don't want to keep editing this part, so I'm just going to edit this part, and that will keep us from having to worry about that. So the generate markdown. Just, oops, sorry. There we go. Okay. And then the motivational app, I'm sure that it has an update to the large file, so we'll do that one. And these are just like, as it gets better and better at this, you'll have to do less and less of what we're doing here. I'm telling you, it's amazing how things are progressing. So I'm going to run this file, and here we have our motivational app. And let's say I want to learn how to cook healthy. So it'll process, you can change the text here and say, looking it up, or let's get motivated, stuff like that. You can make it so much fun. And ChatGPT has access to all of these things. So we have articles to help you achieve your goal, videos to help you achieve your goal. But one thing that happened is, what happened? I don't have the text in here. So something happened, right? So let's go look at our HTML index. And yeah, let's do it here. So I'm going to say, hey, that something happened. This area did not load. So I was like, okay. And then sometimes we copy and paste and things don't happen. So, but here's where things are great, because now what we can do is it says let's add some stuff to the index function. So this is the index function here. And let's see. So let's copy this part. Let's go in here for the app route. And where are you at? There it is. This part here we can just paste in this section. And we can run it again. Oops. Hold on a second. Sometimes a little spacing goes in there, but we'll get it going. All right, let's try again. It's just a display thing probably with the, it's not rendering that out, and it might not be getting it back. How to cook healthy. We'll do how to cook healthy. And I can look in here and watch what's going on. So there's, it says it's processing user request, and then it's doing stuff, coming back and forth. It didn't work, right? So we still got a bug here. So let's find out what the deal is. So we'll go in, and I'm going to teach you a little bit of Python here if you want it. And utils, we're getting this motivational HTML, right? Ah. You know what happened? It's not returned. Look, I didn't paste this properly. I'm going to show you. So if we look up here at the code, this part didn't come in. So it's always copy and paste is a lot of the reason for errors. So I'm not returning anything back when it's calling this. It's like, okay, I did it, but then it's not returning the motivational HTML. So let's do it again. So here we go. How can I cook healthy? And we'll see how it runs. You can do this, I'm telling you. It's awesome. I have the AI plus I podcast, and I built that entire thing with the same methodology, chat-driven development. Okay, so look, it worked. So the problem was I had not copy-pasted. I had done my own little coding, and if I would have copied and pasted, I would have had it just fine. And you'll have it just fine. So here's some articles that come in. Here's some videos about how to cook healthy meals. And you've got a little app here that was developed in about 40 minutes. And you can do so much more. Like we could add so many other things to this. And I'll keep adding more. So in the comments down below, just let me know what you want me to make next. I got some ideas I'm going to work on. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. If you need anything, thanks for watching. I'll be posting a lot more of these, hoping that you'll be able to learn chat-driven development and build anything you want, and you don't have to be a coder. Take care.